In this case study, we're going over generating sales on Amazon. And so we're really just focusing on online arbitrage. And it comes down to three different categories. You got nano, micro, and macro. Starting off with nano, this is like the lower end of the spectrum. And so this is something that majority of everyone doesn't really pay attention to unless you're a high tier seller on Amazon. And this is just mainly focused on online arbitrage. With Nano, it comes down to your actual storefront. What really matters is your review ratings. So whether you have 5-star, 4-star, 3-star, 2, or even 1, it doesn't matter. It does play a role in sales. If you're a storefront that has a review rating that's maybe 100%, but your review count is 1, that's still good. But let's just say you have a review rating of like 40%, but you have 20 reviews. That's kind of bad at the same time. Like, yeah, you do have a bunch of reviews, but the rating is still so low that it makes you look like somewhat like a bad storefront to buy from. Stock count history does play a role, so you always want to make sure you're in stock. If you're about to run out of stock, make sure you're reading up on inventory. If you do run out of stock, make sure you're already in the process of having inventory go to Amazon, because you want to look reliable and actually be reliable to Amazon. And, just so for customers, when they do order, you want to make sure that you're in the buy box. So if Amazon sees that you're always in stock, Amazon will favor you and push you, higher in the buy box so you can get more sales. Versus if you do have competition and they're slow on restocking and they're always running out of stock, then they're gonna push you higher in the buy box, and you'll always be, at a higher. You always have more favor in gaining more sales just because of that alone, because you're more reliable. You're either going to be doing FBA or FBM, which is fulfilled by merchant, and FBA is just fulfilled by Amazon. And so if you're doing fulfilled by Amazon, you're going to be favored more by Amazon to get more, be more in the buy box, just because you're using their services. And with that, since you're using their services, your inventory is going to their warehouse. And so you're using their workers, their warehouses, their vehicles, their planes, things like that. And so when you're using their service, they're going to favor you more just because of, you're being more involved with their operation. Now, I have seen storefronts that do FBM get more percentage in the buy box only because they do wholesale. And so the prices are a lot cheaper at times too. And when I say that, is because their review count is like 100,000. You know what I mean? Like, they have a lot of reviews, and so that can outweigh and play a role in them getting more percentage in the buy box just because of that. But majority of the time, if you're doing FBA, you're gonna get more favor in the buy box. Micro, what you buy the product for, obviously plays a role. Micro is something that everyone does pay attention to, obviously because of reasons like this. So you do want to make sure you buy the product for a low price, either wholesale, retail, or if you're doing retail, you want to get it at a discount. Maybe the price is already low already. You could use coupons to bring the price down, discount codes. You could use catch-all, which is where you're creating a website and you have so many emails because of that website. And so you could use those emails to keep getting discount codes and things like that. And you could also use credit card cashback. So when you make a purchase, you get rewards for cashback, and you can use that towards inventory so you can increase your profit margins. When it comes to sale price, this is what you're selling it for on Amazon. So you always want to sell high, of course. And the bare minimum profit that you want to make is 30%. Now, obviously, you want to make more than that, but this is the bare minimum. If you're under 30%, it's not even worth selling the product, honestly. You just want to leave it alone and go on to the next product. Macro, this is what everyone pays attention to. This is pretty much where another part of your bread and butter is besides micro. But macro is where you're actually going to be seeing sales because of, one, the product. You want to pay attention to sales rank. And I always tell people to look at a product that has a sales rank of less than 40,000. But if you really want to get consistent sales and sales more quicker, I say do like less than 30,000 in sales rank. The estimated monthly sales per month doesn't matter because this is how many times the product is selling per month. So if you know a product is selling for, 50 times a month, but has a sales rank of 10,000, it's gonna sell. It's gonna sell. It's just you need to make sure you get a certain amount of units. And this is just like another indicator for you to be like, okay, I know that I want to get. I don't know if it sells 50 times a month, then all right, the sweet spot for safety reasons maybe like 30, just because there's other competition on there, and like if it sells this month, you have either you may have remaining for next month, or you just know that you're gonna sell everything out this month. Amount of sellers, that's important too. I would say ignore products that has more than 10 sellers on it. It's because it could become saturated, and when there's more supply, price does drop. So I would say avoid products that has more than 10 sellers on it. So if that's 10 or less, that's cool. I would say get on it as long as everything else, matches up. Sales rank is good. Um, it sells a good amount of times per month, and it has 10 or less sellers on it. But just know that price does fluctuate. You want to look at products that has a price that's pretty much consistent throughout the month, throughout the year. And that's like something really, really good to look at, just because whether or not if you're going to be hitting your profit target. So price fluctuation does really matter when it comes to macro. This is really the thought process of getting consistent sales on Amazon. Since this is a case study, I will show you guys someone that's been using this whole thought process to make sure they're getting sales. At first, she started off with my Amazon Blueprint ebook, and then eventually she wanted to have more hands-on support. So we had one-on-ones, pretty much just sourcing to the point where she started sourcing on her own and was able to find products for herself. At the beginning, she did make a minor mistake, but it's normal. Pretty much, she just went off emotion instead of the data. She ended up finding a product for a low price, and it did have potential to sell on Amazon. It's just competition, and the rest of the data just showed that it would kind of be a slow seller, but it did end up selling all her inventory later on. But it was just like a learning lesson, though, just to focus on the criteria that we set up, just so she keep getting consistent sales over and over again. She made some tweaks to her sourcing and been pretty much focused more so on data. Ever since then, she's been getting more consistent sales. She's been more confident and buying more inventory. Honestly, she's been buying like way more units just so she can make more money. And so on a month-to-month basis, she's definitely been improving. And just following this strategy, she's been able to make money on Amazon on a consistent basis. And it's proven with this case study right here that just focusing on, buying product for a low price, selling on Amazon for a higher price, but making sure that the data is right there showing that the product will sell based on sales rank. It's a no-brainer, you feel me? And so it's proven. Just follow the data.